Wellness Show, episode 126.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. Today we're off yet again to Australia, to Down Under, to talk to three lovely ladies. One of them, well, all of them that I know, because they're part of the Evolutionary Dowsing Consortium, and as an adjunct to the work that we're doing as a group, Shelley has gone to Australia to join forces with these two ladies, and they're about to start creating an ancestral bridge. This is an exciting project, and really, they're really on a sacred journey. So this is the beginning of the beginning. So welcome, ladies, to the call, and tell us what this is all about. And Shelley Darling, how was your trip getting there? Were you safe and secure and excited? And how long have you been there?
Yeah, actually, it's been really fantastic. I've been there. Well, thank you, Tyson, first of all, for inviting us onto your show. And I began this journey about a month ago, going to New Zealand and traveling with the grandmothers of the sacred we, traveling with them in New Zealand, and then taking a journey, meeting a lot of wisdom elders, and traveling throughout the South Island of New Zealand. So it really brought forth this beautiful energy and understanding about the land, the people, and water.
So that ancestral connection is really important to you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and why? Why is it the ancestors that keeps bringing you back to New Zealand to Australia? And I know you're doing the same work in North America. What is it that being with the ancestors, why is it so important at this time?
I think it's important to all of us because, especially with the wanting to cultivate a new earth, an earth that really speaks right through us and where there's harmony and connection, people have to remember this wisdom that was completely understood and innate through the ancestors, through the ancient ones. Peace was a way of living. And so in the ancestral bridge really is an experience of that inner and outer ancestor, and that our relationship to the land, which when we experience that, there's something that calms within us, and we can work in harmony together as a nation.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely important, the alignment of your inner nature with the outer nature. And when the two aren't aligned, then you're going to have a culture that is disassociated and almost crazy making, which is what we're finding now on the planet. So what you're saying is we need to go back to the roots of the indigenous people, of the legends and the commonality of their connection to Earth, and remember that and bring that forward into this time now as we bring about what you're calling the new era. Did I get that correctly?
Or the new earth, or yeah, coming back.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So tell me about the journey. This one.
Where we've been gathering, we were called to come to Byron Bay, which was unexpected, and it's been a very exciting time because there's been lots of networking happening up here. There's an eco university being set up, and so they're really looking at setting up One Earth is where there will be a place to learn how to heal the earth. And so Shelley and I came up here to be with Najma, but to meet with people involved in One Earth. And Shelley did an introduction last night, and then there'll be a dowsing workshop on Sunday. And then we're going to start the journey truly in Scotland Island, near Sydney. So we're going to be doing a dowsing workshop with a number of people, and then we're going to move off down the south coast. Najma, would you like to keep going?
Well, we're going to travel to really special places in the Australian landscape. We're going to the heart centre of Australia, which is a beautiful mountain on the far south coast of New South Wales. Then we're going to travel across to Canberra, which is the capital of Australia. That was a town that was designed on principles of geomancy. And we're going to experience some of that in the land in Canberra. And from there, we're going to travel to Urulu, which is the solar plexus of the country and the centre of Australia, where right now it's very, very hot. We're not sure how that's going to go. And there we're going to be joined by Martin Sampson, who is going to be working with us as well. He's a Christian priest, and what would you say his credentials are?
He's been taken journeys to Uluru, cosmic child dreaming, many times, and so he has this deep relationship with the land, also the stars. He's really an understanding of the cosmic influences, and Uluru and Australia in the world landscape, what Australia brings, and particularly Uluru, but just a really extraordinary understanding of the different landscapes in Australia, the songlines, and the star influences on it. So it's going to be fascinating.
So maybe you can help. I love the birds in the background. I always like talking to people in Australia because the birds are always, you can hear them all the time talking, wanting to be part of everything that's going on. So people that don't live in Australia won't know what you're talking about because they're going to know the old term, right? Which is Ayers Rock. Did I get that right?
Uluru, the Aboriginal name
Yeah.
for Ayers Rock, the big
Exactly. So
Australia.
it's the Aboriginal name that you're using. I just want people on this call, we're in 40 different countries, so they may not understand quite the proper words that you're using, which are Aboriginal. So that's Ayers Rock. Did you say, did I get it right? Was that the navel, or is it the
Plexus?
What is it in relationship to Australia?
It's the center of Australia and the solar plexus of the Earth.
So it's like
chakra, so the center point. It's the power center of the planet.
Yeah. So it's at the Tan center for the planet, then the energy center, right? And so it's not only for Australia; it's for the globe itself, or for the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let me just talk a bit about holons just for a second. This is from Marko Progozhnik's work about holons within holons, which are like Ukrainian dolls that are nested one within the other. And right here, I'm broadcasting from the Shuswap, the sacred Shuswap, which has all the sacredness of, well, every place on the planet is sacred. But this is one of 32 sites for North America. So when we do ceremony here at our heart chakra, it affects and is intensified in the heart chakra in North America. But now we're going to even another level, which you people are doing by doing ceremony at the Tanchen or at the center of the world. So again, it's holons within holons within holons. And as we learn how to do this, work with the landscape angel, we activate and bring the planet into new awareness, which is exactly what you guys are doing, which is exciting. I would love to be there with you on this journey. And I hope that we can continue to be on the journey together by you checking in with us and letting you know how you progress. So this step that you're on right now came out of the blue. So how did it come out of the blue, so to speak? Or what was the synchronicity that brought you to this event? Just that you heard about this university and one center, or how did that come about?
So basically, yes, it was last minute. We didn't plan this at all. And so for people who aren't aware of Byron Bay, in 2012, Barbara Marcus Hubbard and many people and a lot of Indigenous grandmothers, some of them came over to Byron Bay for what's called the Uplift Festival. And so a man named Christopher Dean, who's now who's been involved with that, and who also has initiated with a few others called Our Earth. We were invited by Christopher. Najma connected with him, and we were just asking for support. And once he heard about the dowsing, he got very excited because he had a personal experience with dowsing, which was a phenomenal story. And so we began to weave our joy and wisdom. And so he invited us to come and share evolutionary dowsing. What was that? Because it's more than just dowsing. It's yes, the ancient science, but it's how we can use dowsing as an evolutionary tool to cultivate this greater awareness, as you've been speaking. And so last night we had a presentation, and then on Sunday we have an event, and we're very excited because in the middle of that, it's World Water Day. As a part of World Water Day, there is a water gathering today with some of an indigenous clan, and really speaking to water and why wastewater, and having a greater understanding, inviting the community to come together, and beginning with a water blessing. So we're going to get to participate with that as well with Loving Waters. So we initiated Loving Waters about, I don't know, maybe almost a year ago. Yeah, a year ago.
Yeah.
And Loving Waters is giving visibility to communities and people who are coming together for water blessings, specifically a full moon water blessing. And so we're also going to get to participate in that. So that's really how it began in coming here. And we began to understand that, oh my God, this is the beginning of the journey, the sacred journey. And so we're just listening and connecting with people who now also are jumping in, and they want to be part of the dowsing weekend and even possibly part of the journey.
So when you say a dowsing weekend, does that mean that you're going to do a weekend of teaching dowsing?
Yes. Yeah, so it's this is a little bit different than the weekend. It's a dowsing retreat. So we begin on Friday night and end on Sunday, but inclusive of that, because it is the initiatory weekend of the Ancestral Bridge, we will be going up to a place that's called the Ku-ring-gai Chase Park, which has 10,000-year-old carvings, and we'll be going up there and offering this experience to people, and we'll probably be bringing our dowsing rods, but we'll see how we're very much listening to the land.
So how does that work? I mean, because really what you're doing is the ancestral connection as well. So Shelley, do you want to talk about that from a dowsing perspective?
Okay, well, what immediately comes to my mind is this, I'll try to keep this short, a story. And in 2009, I met, or no, actually it was probably 2010 or 11. I met a man named Barry Brailsford who lives in New Zealand, and he and Hamish Miller, was a very famous dowser in England. He found the Apollo and Athena lines. He walked the Michael and Mary lines. So these are energy lines. I mean, in England, they weren't calling them songlines, but essentially it's the same thing. You know, the songlines are, yeah, okay. So they met, and Hamish came over to New Zealand, and together they wrote a book, In Search of the Southern Serpent. And the main thing is what they discovered. And they were going around these sacred sites, and they would be measuring, just like we've been talking about, measuring the radials of these sacred sites, the positive vortex nature of these places, why we love to go to them, and why we're attracted to them. And so they were measuring them. And they came across, they went to Castle Hill, and this is one of the examples where it was kind of like a flower energy around that, a very large stone. They came back 6 to 8 months later. It was the same signature, but what was profound for them was the signature had expanded, and they couldn't figure out why. And so what they learned from an indigenous elder, in a Maori elder, a Waitaha elder in New Zealand, was that when we bring our attention to these energy lines, to these sacred places, the energy expands. The earth can bring forth, Julie spoke about resonance, a wider resonance, a higher positive vibration. We can feel it. It's why we want to go to waterfalls or places of like this. So in terms of the songlines, you know, I would never want to speak specifically about the songlines because I feel like that really needs to come from an Aboriginal elder. But essentially, the Aboriginals understood, they felt the earth. They knew where these positive places were and even the negative ones. These songlines connected communities. Every songline had a specific voice, and different communities would know each other through these songlines. And when we hear about an Aboriginal walkabout, they were walking these songlines. They intuitively worked with the mother. They, you know, when I came to Australia, one of the most phenomenal things was I never heard the land speak so loud. I could hear it, whereas in America I couldn't. I also felt it in Israel. That was another place. But so now we're regaining a relationship with the earth, with these song lines. And as Barry and some other people that I've talked to, so we need to sing up these song lines. It's very important that we understand these ancient relationships to the land, and that the energy, the house, we think of our house as just a block of wood or steel or stone. It's all energy, and it's conscious energy. And so that's really what I get very excited about, is that we can begin to experience, tap into. And even people with self-doubt, I don't even worry about it, because when they begin to use these rods, these L rods, or even a pendulum, but more so when you're walking the land, this is what we're speaking to, you can actually feel something. You can feel a shift. You can begin to sense when something is in accordance with your own heart. So the opportunity to share and go on this journey is an opportunity to begin to understand and experience that. And we'll be sharing a lot of stories. We've got a lot of great books. Yeah, and we have people that we'll be meeting along the way that will deepen our understanding, because we're not just the teachers or educators by any means. We are here as students of the earth.
Yeah, you get to learn from the land itself, as the land speaks through the soles of your feet. So yeah, that's why I'd love to be with you and walking side by side with you, because it will be a journey of infinite discoveries as you move along through the landscape. Because as you said, Shelley, the landscape will talk to you. It will reveal its mysteries to you and bring you the Aboriginals and the guides and those that know to unlock the mysteries. Just from my perspective here in the Shukshwap and having Marco here, was very quickly we were able to realize that with the coming of the white man in our region, that the indigenous elders systematically shut down the energy systems in the landscape. And that's part of the work that we're called to do here, is to reactivate those chakras by creating a relationship with the land yet again. So it's like the land is somewhat asleep, doesn't feel comfortable with the human activity on its surface. But for example, when I tune into Mount Ida, which is the evolutionary energy in the landscape here, she says to me, my name is Mount Ida, I'm the pyramid in the landscape. If you respect me with honesty and sincerity, I could create Shambhala. So in other words, I could create a microclimate here of infinite abundance if you work with me. So that's the other part, is, you know, as we move through the landscape, whether it's particularly in North America with the coming of the white man, or when you're in the English landscape, you know, when the Druids were conquered by the coming of the Catholic Church, and their ruins were then supplanted by the Catholic Church being built on top of them, a lot of those went into trauma as well. So part of the work, I would think, is you'll be guided to release some of these centers to bring them back online. And but the beauty of where you are, and I could get excited about that, is those song lines by the Aboriginals have been kept alive, whereas in North America, Central America, some places in South America, and in England, in Europe, a lot of those lines have not been activated except by a small majority of people. So having the Aboriginals aware and of those song lines and activating gives you a way of understanding that network, that pattern of energy, that once you understand that and can read the land, you can bring that back to North America. That's why I'm excited. Sorry, I got carried away, but that's what I'm being guided to say, that why I'm so excited about the journey that you're about to begin. It'll be just full of so much discovery and knowledge. So hopefully it'll all get captured in this exciting book that we're writing, right?
Yeah, and also we've talked about, and especially talking to you today is really inspired more. We talked about we're going to do a blog for the journey because we want people to be with us, to come with us. We had also talked about doing, live streaming, but on my phone I can't do that. So we'll see about that. Maybe we can be taking videos and sending them in and giving people an experience of what this is. And we've also feel that on some level, this is a prototype journey, that the way this got put together, and God, thank you to Julie and Naj, couldn't have happened without, we are such an amazing co-creative team. We were just sharing this beautiful hug and realizing what we have each brought. And that's really another important message of this journey for people, is that to really begin to understand co-creation, that we're greater than the sum of our parts. It was how the Sacred Evolutionary Dowsing Consortium came together. That was the voice, was that come together, share our wisdom, engage, and things can happen that we can't even imagine. We grow exponentially together. So that's really undercurrent of this journey. And so we would love to be sharing it.
Yeah, it sounds great. And that's why I'm hoping that you will, weekly come on the show, or or even bi-weekly, whatever you feel called to do. I know Satish Kumar used to do it barefoot. Every few years he would get a sense when he was in Cornwall. All right, stop it. It's time for, stop working. It's time for your pilgrimage. So take his shoes off, get his staff out, and put his backpack on, and away he'd go. He had no idea where he was going, but his adventures were absolutely amazing. He was guided to have the most incredible experiences. And in this world we live in, we get so busy with doing, that we never even have the time to be and allowing the nature spirits, the landscape, the ancestors to speak to us and to guide us. And that's why I feel you're so blessed, is to say enough of this already. I'm willing to step into this sacred space and be guided on this journey. And who knows what's going to happen? That's the exciting thing. Well, you do know where you're going. So if I understand, there's a couple of retreats, isn't there, along the way, or a couple of gatherings that you're planning at different places?
Well, we've got the gathering on Scotland Island, which we'll be doing.
What's that going to be about?
That's the dowsing retreat. So that's where that's a dowsing retreat. But we'll also be doing water blessings along the way, because very much a part of the water, Loving Waters initiative, is to share the simplicity and the power of blessing the water, of deepening our connection with water through doing Dr. Emoto's water blessing. And so to share that with the local community, with a few people, and then for them to start doing it in their local community. It's about creating pods of people doing water blessings everywhere. So every time, it's not only for full moon, it's also about every time we turn on the tap to remember that water is life, water is sacred.
Yes, absolutely. I describe it, I don't know if it's true, but for me, it's the lifeblood of Mother Earth. So when we bless the water, we bless the blood of Earth. And water catches all and traps all of our emotions, human and otherwise. And when we bless the water, we release the trauma. And what could be better than that as we move through the landscape is to teach people to release that trauma so the earth can go through its transformation and change. And we'll have that experience as being on the back of her on this ancient turtle, go through that change with her, being carried on her back rather than us feeling that we got to do all the work. Really, really exciting. So do you have any idea how many people might be coming to this workshop, or is that just, it's just going to happen and the people who show up will be called, or do you have any idea this time? It's
growing as we're doing. We have another event on Sunday with a golden light dowsing 4-hour experience. But also it's just really people are just finding out about it. So it's growing. And do you think, would you like us to give a website and a way for people to begin to follow us with you, or just through you, or how would you like to do that?
No, I want you to do all of that and even more, and even all the things that you haven't figured out yet. If you could just do that. You got about 5 minutes to do all of that. So if you want to, bring it all together about what you think the key things that you want people to know about sacred journeys and why it's important and why you're on this one and how they get hold of you, would be a great way to bring it all to a conclusion.
Okay, so let's just give people 2 ways. One is you can go to Golden Light Dowsing to the website, and I'll be posting what we're doing on there. Obviously, people can find us through you. We'll just continually send our picture journeys and videos to you as well. And also lovingwaters.life, because that's where people can go and connect with people around the world who are doing water blessings. I'll be sending that information in there as well. And we have a Facebook page. Should we set up one, or? Anyway, so there is a Facebook page, but I think we have to funnel it in. So the best way, I think, is through going on Dowsing the website, or lovingwaters.life the website, and we'll send you the link for the blog.
I love you for connecting in, and Shelley, that was so eloquent. May your footprints be soft and gentle on the planet. May she gift you with many presents, and may you have that wow factor always vibrating around you. I know you will. I can just feel it. You're going to have so much fun. So bless you, ladies, and thank you for showing up. And everybody on the call, stay tuned for more from Down Under. And until then, we love you all. So bye for now.
Thank you, Tyson. Bye-bye.
Findingtheforest.com, Training the Trainers.
A webinar series launching April 15, 2017.
Tyson J. Bannigan.
And Courtney Hart Hale.
Modern Day Shamans.
Training the Tribe.
Join the evolution.
If you are looking for a tribe of light workers who are helping each other to deliver their awesome message to the world, then join us.
At findingtheforest.com.
Interview on The Wellness Show to learn more about who we are. Courtney Hart Hale.
Author, artist, shaman, activist, and clan mother. Tyson J. Bannigan.
The Energy Detective, artist, author, shaman, environmentalist, and mentor.
Bridging ancient and modern.
The evolution is here and now.
Is this for you?
If you're a change agent, an empath, light worker, visionary, or a heart-centered person,
imagine working with a group of like-minded people whose goal is to make millions to reach millions and create a new planetary system that benefits all of life.
Are you in?
Go to findingtheforest.com.
Our special program.
An ongoing series for trainers to discover their unique gifts.
Helping others manifest their gifts into the world.
Join a community of like-minded people to shift the world together.
What you get.
Get rid of inner conflict and doubt.
Map a beautiful path for your life with the sacred science of spirit.
Use your gifts to turbo boost your abilities.
Learn to drive your mental vehicle.
Receive reliable GPS directions to your destiny.
Join now and get a free book.
Urban Shaman 1, Love.
At www.findingtheforest.com.
Launching April 15th, 2017.
A training for trainers.
Webinar series.
See you there.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca. and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.